But if you find a woman who isn't struggling, you find a woman who has a little bit of money, she's not going to have no problems with going 50-50. So guys, welcome back to the Dime Trap, where we trap dimes. In today's video, I want to talk about the shit that's going viral with Young Miami. So I guess she did an interview the other day, and she said that she's not dating any men who don't make $100 million or some shit like that, right? And a lot of people are mad about that. But at the end of the day, man, when I think about it, like, me personally, I don't mess with women who don't make a certain amount of money. So if that's her choice to only want to deal with a man who makes $100 million or whatever it is, that's her thing. And at the end of the day, all she doing is shortening herself, because the average man ain't out here making $100 million. The average man ain't out here making freaking $1 million. So if that's what she chooses to do, that's what she chooses to do. And I know me personally, growing up, I've always been taught not to mess with broke women. Like, my mom always told me to find a woman who got a decent paying job. And that's always been instilled in the back of my head. Even when I go out to places like, not to down anybody who works at places like McDonald's and stuff like that, those women have never attracted me. I've never been attracted to those type of females. And when I go back and look at all the girls that I've been in relationships with, serious relationships with, not even serious, just that I've dealt with, period, all of them have had jobs that have paid $50,000 and better. Every last one of them, except for two. When I first started dating back in my early 20s, when I was like 20, 21 years old. And I think that's where a lot of y'all men mess up in the dating world, is y'all are out here hollering at whatever I holler back at you. And a lot of the times y'all are in places like McDonald's, Walmart, trying to holler at the cashier, trying to holler at people while they working in places that don't pay a high wage. And then the women are looking at you as a come up, a way to get money. They're looking for you to pay for this, that, and the other. And the truth is, they're doing that because they know that you're making more money than them. Out of all the women that I've ever dealt with in life, I've never had a woman ask me for money. Ever. And I used to chunk it up to all, because I always let the women know that I deal with, that I used to be a pimp. But now thinking back to it, nah, that ain't the reason why they didn't ask me. It's because I've never dealt with broke women. A woman who has money doesn't mind spending her money. A woman who doesn't have money, she's gonna be the one who has a problem with spending money.
Damn, I never thought about it that way. Yo ass smart.
And you got a lot of women online who say that they boss chicks, they got their own businesses and all that, right? But if you really look at how much money their business is bringing to them, 9 times out of 10, they're not making no money. All these women who had these online jobs, they selling this, that, and the other on Instagram and all that shit, 9 times out of 10, the women are broke as hell.
Just say you broke. Ain't nobody gonna judge you for being a flat purse.
They're not making the money that they say they're making. Even if they getting a lot of sales, a lot of these women are buying shit cheap, and they trying to sell the shit cheap in order to make a profit. And a profit margin is low as fuck. They're not making that much. So we gotta start vetting out these women and thinking about what comes with the type of women that you deal with. If you deal with a broke woman, you're going to deal with a woman that's needy, that's going to need things because she can't afford the things that she got. But if you find a woman who isn't struggling, you find a woman who has a little bit of money, she's not going to have no problems with going 50-50.
Your boy be cooking. Turn that shit up, twin.
Because 9 times out of 10, a woman that's making $60,000, $70,000 and up, they understand what it means to be responsible. Because they was responsible enough to go find a job that pays good. Where a woman who is settling for working at McDonald's, she's not really responsible because she's settling for a job that pays low when she can go get a job that pays a lot more. But a lot of women will come with excuses in their head to why they can't go get a better job. They would tell themselves that all these jobs, you got to have a bachelor's degree. All these jobs, you got to do this, that, and the other. When in reality, some of these jobs, you got to lie. And in a lot of situations, these women don't even want to go and they won't even get their resume right so that they can get a better job. And I know it's this shit that be going around the internet where women be talking about how men don't want a woman who makes a lot of money. That's bullshit. It's only one type of dude that I've come across that is anti being with a woman that makes more money than them, and that's Africans. It's foreigners. I've never come across an American black man who has a problem with his woman making money. And anybody who thinks that that's not masculine to be with a woman who makes a lot of money is dumb as fuck. Like, you could still be the provider and your woman still makes a lot of money. But guess what that does? If y'all end up getting married, right? You may be paying all the bills, you may be paying for this, that, and the other, right? With your paycheck. But when it comes to taking trips, when it comes to doing fun things on the weekend, 9 times out of 10, she's not gonna have no problem with going in her pocket to pay for those things because you're paying for all the fucking bills. And that's where a lot of people got this 50-50 shit fucked up. I was in a relationship for about 8 years with this lady, with this girl, right? And she made way more than me at the time. And the way we had this thing going was, because she made more money than me, she paid all the bills, right? And she also paid all the bills because I moved into her place. But when Saturday came, when Friday nights came, and all that shit, whatever money I made, that shit went towards us going to the club, us going out to eat, us going to the mall and splurging on clothes in order to go out for the weekend. 50-50 isn't always half on the bills. 50-50 isn't always half on dinner. It's about balancing out your lifestyle so that you can live a better lifestyle. That's the reason why the United States is anti-polygamy and being in poly relationships. Because the more people that's in the household, the more money that's going into that house to be able to do things that people want to do, which will help people get out of the hamster wheel that they in. If you put your money together and do what it is that you're supposed to do. It's like when I was in the pimp game. The more girls that are in your stable, the more funds you have to be able to live the lifestyle that you're trying to live and that they trying to live. The less people inside your stable, the less people inside your household, the less you're going to be able to do.
Damn, I never thought about it that way. Yo ass smart.
But that's a whole nother story we'll talk about later. So these women who be talking that shit is usually because they out here fucking with these foreign niggas. They only fucking with the foreign niggas anyways because they know the foreign niggas would trick off. And if you look at the caliber of women that's really talking that shit, it ain't women who are making a lot of money. And a lot of these women who also talk that shit, if you look at them, they don't be fucking attractive. Or they don't have no type of fucking personality.
You can make this shit up!
That's another thing that these women gotta look at, that they're overlooking when they use this whole, he didn't want to fuck with me because I made more money than him. No, really, the truth of the matter is he didn't want to fuck with you because you had no personality. He didn't want to fuck with you because all you do is talk about work. But that's some shit that's a conversation that they don't want to have. That's a conversation that they want to hide so that they can keep playing victim.
Baby, you need to go to church. There, now you clean.
So back to the Young Miami thing, like, I don't blame her for saying she's looking for a nigga who makes $100 million. And if we look at these women like Young Miami, like JT, like any of these women who be talking all that, men gotta have this, that, and the other, this, that, and the other, then they turn around and get on the internet and they buying these niggas Rolls Royces, they buying these niggas motherfucking Lamborghinis and shit. Cause they understand that if they have a lot of money and they fuck with a nigga who got a lot of money, then their lifestyle is gonna be way more lavish. Where if they fuck with a nigga who ain't got no money or that can't match their lifestyle, then their lifestyle is gonna be lower than what they're looking for. But see, the problem is you got regular ass women out here who will listen to what Young Miami says and will say, I'm only fucking with a nigga who got $100 million, and your chances of finding that nigga that makes $100 million is slim to none. You really fucking dreaming. You playing yourself.
What's wrong with you bitches? Who raised you to be that way?
Like, how can you have the same standards in dating as somebody who is a millionaire? Like, it don't make sense. And that's the difference between men and women. Like, a man is only looking for you to bring something to the table. We not trying to shoot for the stars with this shit like y'all are.
What are you waiting on, twin? Why you ain't like, comment, and subscribe yet, twin? How my daddy gonna feed me, twin, if you don't help us get monetized, twin?
And that's the problem. And that's the difference between men and women. Like, y'all want the whole world right now type shit instead of building it. Where a man will see a woman that makes $60,000, $70,000 and be like, all right, she's not a liability. That's all I'm looking for, is a woman who's not a liability. That's an asset in this situation. But anyways, I just wanted to make this video real quick because I see that's going viral. And I don't see no problem with people only dating somebody who benefits the situation. But at the same time, we gotta be realistic with it. And a lot of y'all aren't realistic with it. But until the next time, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.
Try, yeah.